Welcome to English Story Hub. Learn English through fun stories. Improve vocabulary, listening, and speaking skills. Like, subscribe, and keep learning with us.
Nothing is free. Maya stood at the edge of the bustling city street, the evening lights casting long shadows on the pavement. She clutched her purse tightly against her side, her breath visible in the cool air. The weight of the world had become heavier in recent months. Bills, debts, mounting responsibilities, everything felt like a ticking clock, each second another step closer to losing it all. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, the familiar notification pinging in her ear. It was a message from her best friend, Anna. I heard about the new job opening at Levy Corp. You should go for it. The pay is insane. Maya stared at the screen, the word insane catching her eye. She hadn't even considered it before. Levy Corp was one of the most prestigious companies in the world, and they only hired the best. But it wasn't just about the job. Maya needed a lifeline, something to pull her out of the financial hole she was sinking into. She opened the email she had received earlier that morning, detailing the position. Senior Marketing Specialist. The pay? Unbelievably high. The kind of salary that could make all her problems disappear. But something in the back of her mind whispered doubt. The kind of job that offered so much couldn't possibly be free from strings. Maya stood outside the towering glass building of Levy Corp, the company's logo gleaming above the entrance. The cold wind swept through her jacket as she took a deep breath and walked inside. She wasn't sure if it was the nerves or the weight of her decision that made her heart race. But one thing was certain: this opportunity was too good to pass up. The receptionist, a young woman with a bright smile, greeted her warmly and led her to the elevator. "Mr. Levy is expecting you," she said. Maya's mind raced as the elevator doors closed. She couldn't help but think about the rumors surrounding the company's founder, Damien Levy. A reclusive billionaire with a reputation for being ruthless. People said he could make or break anyone in the industry with a single decision. When the elevator dinged and the doors opened, Maya found herself standing in a sleek, modern office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Damien Levy was seated at a large desk, his gaze fixed on a tablet. He didn't look up when she entered. "Miss Pierce, I presume," he said in a deep, smooth voice. Maya's heart skipped. She nodded, walking toward the desk, trying to keep her voice steady. "Yes. Thank you for seeing me, Mr. Levy." He finally looked up, his eyes sharp and calculating. "I don't waste time. I assume you know why you are here." She nodded, but a part of her wanted to ask, what was he really offering? The pay was one thing, but she needed more stability, security, and a future she could count on. Damien leaned back in his chair, his eyes never leaving hers. "The position is yours if you want it. But nothing comes free here. You'll be expected to give everything you have: your time, your loyalty, and your soul." Maya swallowed hard. the weight of his words sinking in. What did that really mean? Was she ready to give up everything for a chance at success? Maya's first week at Levicorp was a whirlwind. The office was state-of-the-art, and her colleagues were all incredibly talented, yet every day felt like a test. She was pushed to the limits, expected to perform at a level she hadn't known was possible. But the money was incredible. She received her first paycheck, and it was more than she'd ever made in her life. The numbers were astronomical. It was everything she had dreamed of. And yet, a part of her felt uneasy. As the days passed, she began to see what Damien meant. The demands on her time were unrelenting. Late-night emails, last-minute presentations, endless meetings. Every minute was accounted for. Her social life, her health, and even her relationships with family and friends seemed to fade away. One evening, after another exhausting day, she found herself sitting in her apartment, staring at the paycheck in her hands. The money could fix everything, but at what cost? Was this really the life she had imagined? It was late one night when Damien called her into his office. She had been expecting the call. There was always something more to do. Always another project, another task. She couldn't remember the last time she had a free evening. When she entered his office, Damien didn't waste any time. "I have a new project for you," he said. "It's a big one. I expect you to make it happen, no matter what it takes." She glanced at the folder he handed her. "What is this?" He looked at her with an unreadable expression. "You'll be overseeing our new expansion in Europe. It's a deal that could solidify our company's future, but it won't be easy. You'll need to sacrifice everything: your time, your personal life, your comfort." Maya felt the weight of the decision hanging in the air. She could feel the pressure building, the sense of urgency. She knew this was her chance. But it was also the moment when she realized that success, true success, would come at a price she wasn't sure she was willing to pay. Weeks turned into months, and Maya's life became a blur of work, deadlines, and pressure. She had moved into an apartment closer to the office, sacrificing her old life entirely. She had stopped seeing her friends, missed her family's events, and had even cancelled plans with Anna, the one person who had always been there for her. Damien's expectations grew heavier, and she found herself waking up in the middle of the night, consumed by thoughts of work. The job had taken over every part of her life. But she couldn't stop. Not now. Not when she was so close to achieving everything she'd ever wanted. One evening, after a particularly grueling meeting, Maya found herself walking through the city streets, her mind racing. She passed by a small cafe, where she spotted Anna sitting alone at a table, her face lighting up when she saw Maya. "Maya, it's been forever. Why haven't you answered my calls?" Anna asked, standing up to hug her. Maya forced a smile, but the exhaustion in her eyes was evident. I've been busy. You know how it is. Anna studied her for a moment. No, I don't. You're not the same person anymore. You've changed. And it's not just the job. What's the price, Maya? Is it worth it? Maya didn't answer. She didn't know if she could. Could the money, the success, the power, make up for the things she had lost? Was it really worth sacrificing everything? Maya stood at a crossroads. She could continue down this path, gaining more success, more money, more power. But at what cost? She had already lost so much: her sense of self, her connection to the people she loved, her health, her happiness. Or she could walk away. She could leave Levicorp, give up the luxury and the status, and find a new way of living. It wouldn't be easy, but it would be real. She would find herself again. The next morning, Maya walked into Damien's office, the folder of her resignation in her hand. She had made her choice. Damien looked up at her with a raised eyebrow. Leaving already? Maya shook her head. I've decided it's not worth it. Nothing is free, Damien. Not even success. He didn't speak for a moment, his cold gaze studying her. You'll regret this, he said quietly. But Maya was already walking out the door, free. Maya found herself at a small cafe, sipping coffee with Anna, the weight lifted from her shoulders. She didn't have the success she thought she needed, but she had something far more valuable: peace, authenticity, and the freedom to live on her own terms. She smiled to herself. Nothing is free, she realized. But sometimes, that's exactly what it takes to be truly free.